So, at a glance, uh, go through the total topic, find out whether the signal is a periodic or aperiodic signal. If a question is given to you, irrespective of the signal is continuous and discrete time signal. So, for a continuous time signal, first is to find out the omega. Your omega is given to you in the problem and you have to find out the omega. Then find f, where, or the frequency, that means by the formula omega equals to 2 pi f. Then find time period t by the formula t is equal to 1 by f. And then check the condition, this condition to consider the signal whether is periodic or not. This total process is true for a continuous time period or a continuous signal. Now for a discrete time signal, there is some modification. The first modification will be, first one is you have to find out the omega in the question given. Then if omega is given, then find the f by the formula omega equals to 2 pi f. Up to this, both process for two signal is same. Now the third process is different from the continuous time signal. Here you have to find out the period n, because for a discrete time signal the period is calculated by n, not t. This n is represented for a discrete time signal, not for a continuous time signal. In a continuous time signal, it is calculated or it is represented by t. Now to calculate n, the formula is f is equal to k by n, where k is some constant number, n is this. So that means if f is given, then you have to find out the n by this formula. If the question in the question or in the example you already know, or you will find out how to calculate this, but you should know first the formula. So this, for calculating n, you should consider this formula. Then check the condition, that means k by n value, whether this is a rational or irrational. Rational means it should be a number like 2 by 5, 2 by 3 or 11 by 2, anything. And then if the k by n value is this like number, then the signal should be a periodic signal. But if it is a irrational number like 2 pi, pi by 7, root 2 by 3, like this number, then the signal will be a aperiodic signal. This is the total process for calculating the period of a signal and also find the nature of the signal for both continuous and discrete time signal. In this case, we will solve some problem to calculate the time period of a periodic signal. Also, we will check the condition of periodicity. So, the first problem is given to you as sin 6 pi t. In this problem, if you consider a sine signal, in a previous class I already discussed that arbitrary sine signal is represented by, sinusoidal signal is represented by a sine omega t. This is a general equation for a sinusoidal signal. So if you compare these two values, this with this, then you can see here a value is equal to 1. A is the maximum amplitude of the sinusoidal signal, and the value of omega equals to 6 pi. This t is present here, and beside this t value, whatever is present is the omega value. So a amplitude equals to 1 and omega or angular frequency is 6 pi. So 6 pi, you already know what is the value of omega. Now your next task is to find out the f. Now f equals to 1 by 2 pi omega, or sorry, this is f is equal to, omega equals to 2 pi f, it is the formula. Therefore f is equal to omega by 2 pi. So your task is to find the f, you have to calculate this. So f equals to 3. It may be any unit, it may be hertz, kilohertz. Now question is in your question the unit is not given to you, that means you write anything. Now next task is to find out the time period t. T equals to 1 by f or 1 by 3 or 0.33. If the time period is considered in times of second, then we can say that the time period of the signal is 0.33 second. This is your answer. And one thing, that as it is a sinusoidal signal, therefore we can say it is a periodic signal. So it is a periodic with a time period of periodic signal with a time period of fundamental time period of 0.33 second. It is your answer. So your next, consider a next problem, that is sin square 4 pi t. For solving this problem, we have to consider the formula that is already discussed. Cos 2 theta equals to 1 by, or cos 2 theta equals to 1 minus 2 sin square theta. Or 2 sin square theta equals to 1 minus cos 2 theta. It is your formula which is given, which is taught in your 12th standard. So consider this formula or use this formula in this. So if the question is given to you sin square 4 by 2, therefore it will be converted like half will be, half and 2 is is multiplied to equate the equation, and then the formula will be 1 minus cos 2, 2 means 8 pi theta. 2 into 4 pi t, that means 8 pi t, or half minus half of cos 8 pi t. So after this equation now becomes to this. Half is a DC value, and you should know that the DC value is also periodic in nature. Why? A DC value is considered like this, where it is a constant value. Suppose half, suppose a, in this case a value is half. So therefore, and this value is continuously present throughout the time period. Therefore the time period is also, as it is this periodicity is maintained here, therefore we can say it is a periodic signal. But the fundamental period is undefined, as the here no cycle is present, because no oscillating condition is not present here. Therefore we cannot say the definite period of this signal. So DC value is, you should always remember one thing, that the DC value is periodic in nature but undefined time period, or undefined time period, fundamental time period t. Now, so we have to calculate now the value of cos 8 pi by t. Again, consider the previous formula, previous case, your omega equals to 8 pi, the value of omega is 8 pi. So f equals to omega by 2 pi or 8 pi by 2 pi, that is 4. So t equals to 1 by f, that is 1 by 4, which is equal to 0.25 unit. It may be second or millisecond, whatever. If the question is given in the question, the unit is given to you, you can write here. So this is a value of fundamental time period of the signal cos pi 8 pi t, and we cannot find the fundamental time period for half. So this, for this signal we have to, we can find the fundamental time period, but for this signal we cannot find the fundamental time period. Therefore the overall fundamental time period of this signal is this 0.25 unit, and this is your answer. So now I am solving one problem regarding discrete time signal. Suppose you have a question like xn equals to sine 3 pi by 5n. If this is your question, then check whether the signal is periodic or not, and if the signal is periodic, then find the fundamental period. So how to change, or how to know that whether the signal is discrete or continuous, you should consider the equation. Here n value is given. If in the question the form is the expression is like xt, that means in the question is the signal is a function of t, that means the signal is a continuous signal. And if it is the function of a n value, then it is a discrete time signal. So by this, by observing this, you can say the signal is a discrete signal or a continuous time signal. So again you have to find out omega. Here the omega value, again for a discrete time signal, should be represented as a sine omega n. It is the general equation for a discrete signal. So by comparing these two terms, you can say omega value equals to 3 pi by 5. So if omega is already given, so you have to find out f, which is 2 pi, or which is omega by 2 pi. The value is omega by 2 pi, or omega value, put the value of omega 3 pi by 5 by 2 pi, which is given by you. So just write the omega value is 3 pi by 10. If you calculate, it becomes 3 pi by 10. 3 by 10. Now for discrete time signal, we know that f is equal to k by n. This f is represented with the period of this signal in like this way. And we know about that if k by n is a rational number, then the signal is said to be periodic. Here k by n is a rational number because in this value 3 by 10, there is no irrational term like root or pi, anything is not present. Therefore, it is a rational number. Hence, the signal is periodic. And as the n is the period of the signal, therefore, the n value is here 10. So, the period of this signal is 10 unit. Anything, the value. Unit should present. If the unit is not given to you, then write the unit form, but not like only 10. Write only 10 because it is an incomplete answer for a periodic value, because it is a vectored value, not a scalar value. It has a magnitude term and a direction. That means unit. So it is your final answer. Now here is some exercise given to you. There is 3 problems given to you. One is xt equals to cos 5 pi t. Second is xn equals to sine to pi by n, and third will be xn equals to sine 5n. This the problem is given to you. Check whether this signal is periodic or not. If periodic, then find out the fundamental time period. So this is all about for today's lecture. If you have any query, you can ask me through this class, and through the if the question any doubt, if you any doubt in solving this question, then you can also ask me. In your next class, I will talk about some other theorem or other rule of signal system. Thank you.